brother! Guys, hello and welcome to another edition of Pixar Fast Facts. Today we're going to be talking about The Incredibles 2, so here we go. Incredibles 2 was written and directed by Brad Bird and is Pixar's 20th feature film. The film clocks in at an hour and 58 minutes, making it not only the longest Pixar movie ever, but the longest computer animated film ever. While it's not the first Pixar film to get the PG rating, it was the first to use mild bad language and feature characters drinking alcohol. While some parents were surprised, Brad Bird clarified on Twitter that just because it's animated and
kids love superheroes
doesn't mean that it is a, quote, kids movie. Incredibles 2 marks the fourth occasion where a different character took the helm as the lead in the sequel, following Cars 2 with Mater, Monsters University with Mike, and Finding Dory with Dory. The movie broke the record for the most views on a teaser trailer of all time with a 113 million views in its opening week. Get it? A 113 million? All jokes are better when explained. Incredibles 2 returns after what many consider to be
15 years too late.
Which it totally almost was until it swapped places with Toy Story 4, which according to Annie Potts, voice of the missing Bo Peep from Toy Story 3, has scrapped nearly 3/4 of the story and is being reworked and is now due for June 21st, 2019, just 2 days short of June
2319!
The Disney castle before the film was redesigned to fit the style of the movie, and in keeping with the era of the film, the traditional Disney steam engine was replaced with the original monorail that ran at Disneyland. And it wasn't just the castle that got a makeover. We've seen the Pixar logo with and without sound, but this time around it had a dark new black and red color scheme. According to Brad Bird, the writer and director of the movie, said that the reason it felt like it was 15 years too late is because he's totally aware of the reputation and purpose of sequels and didn't want to release a second film unless they had the story they wanted to tell. Diving into the Easter eggs, let's start with the big three: A113, the Pizza Planet truck, and the Luxo ball. A113 actually appears a few times throughout the film, first on the Metro Lev at the end of the film when Tony and Violet are finally going on their date in the marquee. The marquee is an Easter egg in and of itself. The film listed as Dementia 113 is a reference to the time-appropriate Dementia 13, which was released in 1963. The Pizza Planet truck can be seen shortly after Elastigirl battles the fake screenslaver, who is actually, in fact, fittingly, a pizza delivery driver. And the Luxo ball can be spotted in Jack Jack's bedroom on his crib. Other Pixar trademarks include the voice of their oh-so-useful good luck charm, John Ratzenberger, who of course reprised his role as the Underminer. In the film, the Underminer inexplicably escapes and is never seen again, at least not until the end of the credits, where we see his drill resurface, giving the tiniest glimmer of hope for another addition to the series. So as of right now, there's no indication at all of it growing to a third movie. Back to Easter eggs, we also see the famous Chinese food takeout boxes that have appeared in A Bug's Life, Inside Out, Ratatouille, and Toy Story. Jack Jack's powers boosting whenever he listens to Mozart is a throwback to Jack Jack Attack when Kari introduces him to the Sweet Sweet Tunes. Originally, Frozen's wife, Honey, was actually supposed to be seen in the film, but after further discussions, producers decided it would be funnier to keep her off camera.
Where you going, ASAP? You better be back ASAP.
Although they did build her a character rig that was put to use later in the movie as one of the foreign supers. You can totally spot her right here. The ambassador, Henrietta Selick, is actually a nod to a former Disney animation employee, Henry Selick. There are more than a few Batman references in the film, including the DevTech Tower, which bears resemblance to a Wayne Enterprises. You can even spot what almost looks like a bat signal in the night sky next to the building. The two direct phone lines to Gazer Beam and Phyronic are a reference to the red phone from the Batman television series, and the Incredibles launch sound effect was borrowing from the 1966 Batman television series. Sarah Vowell, who voices Violet, is now older than Holly Hunter was when she voiced Helen in The Incredibles when it was released in 2004. Director Brad Bird reprised his role as the delightful Edna Mode.
Yes.
Interestingly, this is the fourth time the director of a Pixar film has voiced a character, including Andrew Stanton voicing Crush,
Totally.
Pete Docter as Kevin in Up, and Peter Sohn as the pet collector in The Good Dinosaur.
Yes, we need him.
Dash, on the other hand, is now voiced by Huck Milner after his original voice actor Spencer Fox's voice deepened. But no one sounded closer to their original voice other than the one and only Jack Jack, who was perfectly matched thanks to the use of archived recordings from the original film. At the breakfast table, Dash is seen reaching for a box of sugar bombs. This is a nod to the comic strip Calvin and Hobbes. He Electrics bears a shocking resemblance to another Brad Bird character, Dean from The Iron Giant. He also bears resemblance on purpose to Winston because the original story intended for him to be the villain instead of Evelyn. When Helen accepts the Devers mission, she phones in,
This is Elastigirl. I'm in.
A nod back to Bob taking his first mission from Mirage in the original film. One of the two supers the Devers father had a direct line to was Roanoke. While we didn't see him in the first film, a bystander mistake syndrome for him when he makes his first public appearance.
Is that ironic?
The painting in Mrs. Incredible's hotel room is meant to represent her separation from the family. The four shapes on the left represent Bob, Violet, Dash, and Jack, and alone on the right is Mrs. Incredible. Every Pixar movie has its most difficult thing to animate, and in the first film it was Violet's hair, a characteristic critical to her character development, as she starts the film hiding behind it and in the end has it pulled back. Fast forward 14 years and The Incredibles 2 is just showing off. The motel the family stays in at the beginning of the movie, the Safari Court, is a reference to the real world Safari Inn located in Burbank, California near Walt Disney Studios. The scene where Bob is frustrated trying to help Dash with his homework is actually a reference to a movement from the 1960s where American school systems started teaching new math. So when he says,
Why would they change math?
not just being a relatable parent, they literally changed math. In the movie, we see Helen get a new suit, and Edna noticed.
Explain yourself.
Galvaki was originally intended to be a character on screen, but later scrapped. His character rig was still used as the art collector who purchases the Incredibile. Towards the end of the film, when Mr. Incredible is trying to shift the rudder of the boat, the dialogue between Dash and Violet almost perfectly mirrors Helen and Bob at the end of the original film. The newspaper that Helen is reading, recounting her rescue of the ambassador, is dated October 25, which is the same date as the upload of this video. And also totally my birthday. Happy birthday to me, happy birthday to me. And finally, Pixar always includes an Easter egg or detail for its next upcoming film in the current film. For example, in Coco, you can actually spot a skeletal version of the Incredibles family. As of now, we don't know what the detail is for Toy Story 4, other than that it's in there. Our current theory is this toy helicopter. We see it a couple times in the movie, and it's actually based off of a real toy, Harold the helicopter from the Thomas the Tank Engine crew. Like many of the details in Incredibles 2, it's rather decade appropriate, with Harold's first appearance taking place in 1956. In Toy Story, though, this could mean that we see some scenes from the past, possibly in the 1950s, when, according to some theorists, Andy's dad would get polio, and Woody, and Slinky, and Mr. Potato Head. 3 other toys known to have been released during this time. Sounds pretty legit to me. I don't know, maybe you want to go check out the full video by clicking the card. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this edition of Pixar Fast Facts. People wanted to come back and do these for a long time now that we have all the proper infrastructure to make them as cool as possible. What did you guys think? Would you like to see more? Leave all your thoughts in the towel section down below. Also, guys, we're hosting another meetup on December 1st in Orlando, Florida, where we're all gonna go see The Crimes of Grindelwald in a theater that we've rented out. And then afterwards, we're gonna do a meet and greet so you can take pictures with us and meet all of the rest of the Super Carlin community. It's super awesome. Check the link in the description below for tickets. But guys, as always, thanks for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you'd like to see some more Pixar action from us, you can click right here to watch the full Toy Story 0 story, which basically goes into everything about Woody's origins. Or if you'd like to click right here, you can check out how the Pars may have been living in Syndrome's old house. But Jay, that's all I've got for you today, man. I will see you on Tuesday.